Blog Talk Radio.
The Book of Esther, 3rd chapter, starting at the first verse. After these things did King Azarias promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Then the king's servants which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, Why transgresseth thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, that he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matter would stand, for he had told them that he was a Hebrew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. He thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Hebrews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Azarias, even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, that is, the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Azarias, they cast pur, that is, the lot, before Haman, from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is, the month of Adar. And Haman said unto King Azarias, There's a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's law. Therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have charge of this business, to bring it into the king's treasuries. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Hebrews' enemy. And the king said unto Haman, The silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written, according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants, and to the governors that were over every province, and to the rulers of every people, of every province, according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, in the name of King of Azarias was it written and sealed with the king's ring. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all the Hebrews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day. The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan, the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed. Peace be unto you, brothers and sisters. Peace be unto you. This is your brother DL. Elder Youngman, for those that follow online. And the name of tonight's message is Beware the Creepy-Cracker Spirit. Beware the Creepy-Cracker Spirit. Now, before we get started, brothers and sisters, I want to clarify this, the name of this message. And I will do that because, a lot of people that hear it will probably think that, Brother Mike better go get Brother DL because, he done flipped out. And cracker syndrome? You know, is it a racial term? Is it a way of disparaging white folks? Really, where it comes from, well, you know what? The better way to do it is to just play you the clip, and then I'll be right back.
Sanford Police Department, line is being recorded. Sean.
Hey, we've had some break-ins in my neighborhood, and there's a real suspicious guy. It's Retrieview Circle. The best address I can give you is 111 Retrieview Circle. This guy looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something. It's raining, and he's just walking around looking about.
Okay, and this guy, is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He looks black.
Did you see what he was wearing?
Yeah, a dark hoodie, like a gray hoodie, and either jeans or sweatpants and white tennis shoes. He's here now. He was just staring.
Oh, he's just walking around the area?
At all the houses.
Okay.
And now he's just staring at me.
Okay, and so it's 1111 retrieve you, or 111?
That's the clubhouse.
That's the clubhouse. Do you know what he's near the clubhouse right now?
Yeah, now he's coming towards me.
Okay.
This guy's hand in his waistband. Yeah, he's a black male.
Okay. How old would you say he was?
He's got a button on his shirt. Late teens.
Late teens, okay.
Something's wrong with him. Yeah. He's coming to check me out. He's got something in his hands. I don't know what his deal is.
Okay, just let me know if he does anything, okay?
Over here.
Yeah, we got him on the way. Just let me know if this guy does anything else.
Okay. These assholes, they always get away. Yeah. When you come to the clubhouse, you come straight in and make a left. Actually, you go past the clubhouse.
Okay, it says on the left-hand side from the clubhouse?
No, you go in straight through the entrance, and then you make a left. Yeah, you go straight in, don't turn and make a left. Shit, he's running.
He's running? Which way is he running?
Down towards the entrance of the neighborhood.
Okay, which entrance is that he's heading towards?
The back entrance.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Okay.
Alright, sir, what is your name?
George. He ran.
Alright, George, what's your last name?
Zimmerman.
And George, what's the phone number you're calling from?
407-435-2400.
Alright, George, we do have him on the way. Do you want to meet with the officer when they get out there?
Yeah.
Alright, where are you going to meet with them at?
If they come in through the gate, tell them to go straight past the clubhouse and straight past the clubhouse and make a left. And then they go past the mailboxes. You'll see my truck.
Okay, what address are you parked in front of?
I don't know. It's a cut-through, so I don't know the address.
Okay, do you live in the area?
Yeah.
What's your apartment number?
It's a home. It's 1950. Oh, crap. I don't want to get that loud. I don't know where this kid is.
Okay, do you want to just be with them right near the mailboxes, then?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, George, I'll let him know to meet you with you out there, okay?
Actually, could you have him call me and I'll tell him where I'm at?
Okay, yeah, that's no problem.
You need my number or you got it?
Yeah, I got it. It's 407-435-2400.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, no problem. I'll let them know to call you when they're in the area.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Now, if you're familiar with that clip, what you understand is that is the George Zimmerman phone call. Before Trayvon Martin died, George Zimmerman, his killer, placed a call to the police, because, I guess he felt he was suspicious A black man in the area walking around, and he decided that to take it upon himself, because he was neighborhood watch, to find him suspicious. As we know, the fact that George took it upon himself to chase after this young man got him into a physical altercation, where apparently the young man overpowered George, went to beating on that behind, because as he described it, as Trayvon Martin described it, there's this creepy cracker following me. So as it went, George decided to go against what the police said. Okay, now this is the police, this is the law, right? So George decides to go beyond the law. He decides that he's gonna handle this matter himself. He finds himself in a physical altercation with this young man, and the young man apparently went to beating on that behind with George. So George, being in Florida, being under the stand your ground laws as it was described in the Romans 1:28 check-in, under this law that gives him the power of posse comitatus, decides to pull out his gun and shoot Trayvon Martin. Now, just like the example of the gentleman that decided to approach this man's wife in Florida, just like what you're seeing with all of these people that feel empowered to police people, these white folks that for some strange reason feel this empowerment to stand in doorways, to police people's barbecues, to police people's licensing to sell water, where they are the posse. They are, they're basically the law enforcement. This is my building. This is mine, and it's not yours. It doesn't matter if you pay rent here. It doesn't matter if it's a public park. None of this stuff matters. And see, as it was described by Trayvon Martin, he described George Zimmerman. And if you're sensitive to spiritual things, when you look at somebody, they give you a certain look back. And whether he knew it or not, he wasn't just looking at some flesh. He was not just looking at a white passing gentleman that was looking at him. No, there was a spirit at work. And you heard that spirit in the phone call. You heard it. These a-holes always get away with stuff. Okay? He's a black male. He's got something in his hands, which we know was a bag of Skittles. He's got his hands in his waistband. Okay? So what you heard is what this young man saw before he died. So he picked up his phone and he called his friend and said, "Hey, there's a creepy cracker following me." So brothers and sisters, really what I want to point out here is that this spirit that was on George Zimmerman, that Trayvon Martin described as a creepy cracker, you got to understand that this spirit is now rampant in our world, throughout Mystery Babylon, especially here. But it is a worldwide spirit. It's the spirit that's been released by the election of President number 45. Now, we know that this spirit's always been there, but it's been emboldened. It's been released and approved. And that's essentially why, you've got these people wilding out in the streets, standing their ground, proclaiming their rights, and, calling the police like, the police are on, speed dial, as they call them, like information. It's like 311, 911. And brothers and sisters, this is not just racial prejudice. It's deeper than that. We understand that, these are the children of the angels. We would be in the midst, all wrapped up in the midst of the Gentiles. And brothers and sisters, we know that the judgment is upon them. So what you see changing, what you see being more agitated, what you see expressing itself more with this protectionism, this deputy dog syndrome, where they're the police. They're I'm here and I'm going to protect my property. I'm going to protect everyone else's property against you. That is what Trayvon Martin saw in George Zimmerman, and that is the spirit of Creepy-Crackerism. This thing where, and brothers and sisters, you've probably seen this. It's probably not acted itself out to the extreme of somebody confronting you or calling the police. But when you go to get your groceries, and see, I spoke on this a long time ago when we first moved out of the city, and I noticed how people would watch me, when I put food in my cart, okay, and bring the cart up front, people just sit and they look to see what I'm buying. People behind me would sit and hope that, it would look like they were hoping that my card wouldn't work, or they were looking at my card to see if it was some sort of, government assistance sort of a thing. And, Brother DL's crazy, so I would go in there with cash. Because, I buy in bulk. So I buy a lot of things, like when they put chickens on sale. If it gets down to like 60 or 40 to 60 cents a pound for a chicken, I'll load my cart up because I ain't no good, y'all. And I'll put them all up there, and then, folks will sit there and look, because basically they dirt poor. So they will sit and they would watch, and $100 worth of 60-cent chickens, that's a lot of chickens. So, man, I ain't no good, y'all. I pull out hundreds. I wouldn't they ask you when you cash your check, what kind of bills you want. I always get hundreds. And then I go do my shopping. And brothers and sisters, people's faces, that hesitancy, that sixth sense we have to feel that spiritual heat coming off of people. That was the creepy cracker spirit even then. Now, they didn't say anything because, they didn't have anything to say. But I make light of it. But brothers and sisters, you got to realize what we saw happen with Trayvon Martin. It is not so different than what you see happening with Abantham John, what you see happening with this young man in Missouri, what you saw happen with that child, with a woman that, a horrible, just wretched-looking woman, just hoping that somebody would try to grab her flat, non-existent behind, calling the police on that child, and then trying to hem them up after the fact. Even that lady that found out that she had just harassed a resident of that building. After she found out that he was a resident, do you know that she still went and called the police and had the police up at that man's house? See, brothers and sisters, what we're experiencing, we got to understand that it's all linked, and it all goes back to what we saw happen with Trayvon Martin. This this maliciousness, where, and just this entitlement, where people that you're walking around and moving around out here in the society with feel that they need to watch you. They need to keep their eye on you. And it's crazy because generally when you're speaking about a store or something, most of the theft happens amongst folks that look like them. But just like you saw with the flooding, with the hurricane that just came through, I saw pictures that were circulating, and the difference is amazing, because you got white folks that are going through the stores, taking things that they need to survive. And for some strange reason, that's not portrayed in the media as looting. That's getting emergency supplies when it's white folks in a white area. But if you flip that around and you think Hurricane Katrina, people that can't get water and go into a store to get water, they're looting. They should be shot. They should be executed. They're looters. So brothers and sisters, I used that terminology to kind of give some attention or some highlight to what you're seeing, the seriousness of what you're seeing. Because what you have to understand is that this spirit of creepy-crackerism, that's one of the things that we were commanded to come out from. You got to understand that these folks, they don't even understand the depth of what they're doing. It just comes to them naturally. It comes from the angelic seed that's in them that hates the indigenous seed. But see, you won't even be able to get them to admit that or even to think about that. And just like what was expressed here in the scriptures, Haman. Now, if you're familiar with this, with the book of Esther, you understand that Haman was sick with hatred for the Hebrew people. The spirit that was inside of him was a murderous spirit. It was a spirit that got itself incensed. The first thing to understand about Haman is that he felt he was favored by the king. Okay, so if you want a situation to understand about this creepy-crackerism, you'll understand that the rise of it is affected by 45's ideology towards nationalism, towards this leniency towards people that are, actively racist. And brothers and sisters, you got to understand, this is a madness amongst these white folks right now. So that, white folks that might be in your circle will go into immediate denial. They'll tell you, they will try to mind screw you and tell you that it's not what you see that it is. Okay? That's a part of this creepy-crackerism. It's in waves. It has depth. Some of those folks that are under this spirit are just the deniers. They're not the ones that would call the police on you. They're not the ones that might engage you. But what they will do is go into immediate denial and try to tell you that you aren't seeing what you're seeing. It's not you're just under the influence of the media. But brothers and sisters, what you heard on that phone call, and what you heard, that was Trayvon Martin's reaction to what he saw simmering in George Zimmerman when he took off and he ran, because there was this creepy cracker following him around. What we understand is that George Zimmerman was following him with a gun. So to understand the parallels between what you heard and what you're seeing right now, just imagine that gun is a telephone. And now you begin to understand that what's rampant out there in the community right now is this spirit that basically wants to hem you up somehow. It's about your peace, brothers and sisters. That's what that message, Shalom, was about. That's the value of having that peace. It's a light. It's an energy. It's a frequency. And trust me, folks that don't have it can feel it. And brothers and sisters, you got to understand that's what Haman, when Mordecai would not pay him reverence, and his shalom, his peace, was in walking circumspect in front of his creator, not walking in front of Haman and bowing down and doing all the things that would have pleased him. Understand, brothers and sisters, these folks are watching you in this same spirit that was in Haman, the same spirit that was in even Joseph's brothers, the same spirit that was in the Sanhedrin when they followed our Messiah around Jerusalem trying to kill him. That is basically the same spirit as what was in George Zimmerman. Things don't change. You know, just the flesh changes, the clothes, the hairstyles, but there's nothing new under the sun, brothers and sisters. I don't know. I might be on this for a little while because, you know, there's just so many dimensions to how this spirit is expressed. But if you read, you know, Esther in the 3rd chapter, and then you begin to look at all of these things out there in the news cycle, as far as these white folks approaching young black men, just young blacks in general, right now, you understand the dynamic of what we have going on in the seat of mystery, Babylon, right now. The king, the president, he has okayed this behavior, and we are behind enemy lines. You know, I got a brother on here, you know, and you can see with this election coming up and how all of the people are mobilizing to try to take back the Congress, to try to take power away from these creepy crackers. You can see how, you know, you can see how the voter suppression is already in full swing. You know, I've already gotten several reports of buses that, you know, have gone to nursing homes where predominantly black people were, to go out and take them to the polls. The establishment, the government, you know, they're coming up with all types of reasons not for them not to go and vote. So, brothers and sisters, it's gonna be crazy at these polls, because they want their king to stay in power. They want this man that is giving them the freedom to be who they are, the freedom to express themselves and feel good about themselves. You know, forget about all the things that have happened in this country. Forget about all the lands that have been stolen. Forget about all the rape. You're the victims. You're the ones that are victimized, is what he's telling them. Just like he said, it's a dangerous time to be a young man in America when it had something to do with his Supreme Court pick. But you can go through the news cycle and go through all of these issues where, you know, one that sticks out is the white woman that pulled up her skirt and screwed 2 black men and then cried rape. It wasn't a dangerous time then, but see, it's a dangerous time now when someone that looks like him is brought up on charges for something that he probably did. So, brothers and sisters, you know, that's my time, and I just wanted to come to you and explain, you know, what you're seeing, and it gives some understanding that this spirit that's among the nations right now, it's not a new spirit. It's been with us for a while. And understand that when you hear George Zimmerman, that you know what it's capable of. So, brothers and sisters, your brother DL is out, as always. Ask the Father to keep your mind, keep your shalom, brothers and sisters. We'll talk again. Brother DL is out. Shalom.